Pues hoy nos iremos a ver un asesinato en un baño público, un baño termal, donde hay una fiesta de trabajo, creo, recordar. Y uno de los asistentes muere sospechosamente. Vamos allá. Baños de sangre.
Holmes, what happened?
I feel deathly.
And you look it. Let me examine you. Please don't tell me that you've returned to your old habits.
Algo de Watson.
The pupil is dilated. The temperature appears to be normal. I need to concentrate and count the heartbeats.
¿Qué tengo que hacer? Uno, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis, siete, ocho.
A weak pulse, around 50 beats per minute. But you're dying, Holmes. Your pulse rate is dropping. We need to get you to the hospital immediately.
Se está muriendo.
The antidote. Give it to me.
The antidote? You mean that you're poisoned?
Now. Please.
Here, drink it all. Don't tell me that you did this to yourself.
Hemlock and datura. I was compelled to.
Holmes, imagine if I'd not returned home when I did. What might have happened?
I knew that you would.
Mr. Holmes, Inspector Lestrade is here to see you.
Mr. Holmes is unable to see anyone at the moment. He is unwell.
A good day, Inspector.
Ah, Mr. Holmes, I'm glad to find you here. I need your help. This is a strange one. We have brought in two young bankers from the city, sons of lords, members of the chamber, and so on and so forth. They were found stranded in a rowing boat that was drifting on the Thames.
A romantic escapade with an unhappy ending, Lestrade.
What? Well, yes, they were both in the bath, but what?
As I said,
And they were tied together.
you are lacking in imagination, Inspector.
Well, no, I'm not. Anyway, there was a banner flapping about in the boat with the RMS Oceanic printed on it and signed by the Merry Men.
The Oceanic. Isn't that the largest steamer ever built?
Yes. And these two young banker chaps are sons of the owners of the White Star Line, the company that built it. There are rumours of corruption.
I'm not interested in politics, Lestrade.
I'll keep it then. Here's another one that's a bit more complex and maybe to your liking. It's a murder, but we're unable to find any weapon. We haven't touched anything. It's at the Roman Baths in Strand Lane.
A murder, a vanishing weapon, the Roman baths. That's for us. Watson, fetch your hat.
Me llevo el silbato. Los antiguos baños romanos de Strand Lane pronto se abrirán al público. Pero qué misterios, qué olvidadas maldiciones ocultan. Solo una persona puede averiguarlo. No me dejaba pasar.
I'm always wondering what's on your mind, Holmes.
¿Y el perro? Ay,
On the sofa for the third time today. Well, don't be surprised if Watson sits on you again.
esta mujer creo que vive aquí, ¿eh? En esa posición todo el rato. No es normal.
What a beautiful place.
With a dreadful murder. The body of Sir Rodney Bentcliffe is still in the steam room. It has not been touched, per your usual instructions, Mr. Holmes. I shall be waiting for you here, but please hurry.
Encima metiéndome prisa.
Are you able to identify the men who were with the victim in the steam room?
Yes. The manager of the bath, Sir Gregory Pitkin, a lad from the city council, Garrow, and an archaeologist by the name of Blinkhorn. I think the plump one, Garrow, did it. He doesn't seem right in the head.
Pues ese no
Well,
es,
we shall see.
seguro. Porque el Estrade no da ni una.
You found no murder weapon?
No, and that's why I called you. All three witnesses and the victim were locked in when the murder occurred, and they remained so until we got here. We even had to pick the lock to enter.
I see. Was there anyone else here, apart from those gentlemen in the steam room?
Yes, a Mr. Phillips. He was the one who called the police. He'll be able to give you more details. Any progress, Mr. Holmes?
No, hijo, no he empezado.
Good day to you, Mr. Phillips. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my colleague, Dr. Watson. Would you be so kind as to answer our questions?
Certainly, sir.
Please tell us the chain of events from the start of your day. Everything that you can remember. The slightest detail may be of importance.
Very well, sir. I came in at 6:30 this morning, and I opened the baths. I made sure that the room was clean, and I prepared the towels. The brazier was still burning.
There was a fire burning all night.
Yes, Sir Gregory ordered me to light the brazier yesterday. It takes some time until the room is fully heated. The gentlemen had a meeting at 9 o'clock this morning. I wanted everything to be perfect. They'd been in the steam room for 20 minutes when I suddenly heard shouting. I ran to the door, but it was closed. I couldn't open it. So I ran out to the street to call for the police. One constable came up, and then there were others, and they picked the lock. Then Inspector Lestrade came along, and he told us that nothing should be touched.
Llegó uno solo.
Did you receive any other visitors this morning?
No one. Until these gentlemen arrived. Sir Gregory was the first. And then, while we were discussing work details, Sir Rodney and Mr. Blinkhorn arrived, and Mr. Garrow followed.
What happened after that?
I waited until they'd all entered the steam room, then I returned to the hall. The changing room door was open, so I should hear if they needed anything.
You would have heard if someone had entered or left the steam room.
Certainly, sir. These doors make a lot of noise.
Pequeñas arrugas. Canas. Telegrama enviado hoy. ¿No le vas a preguntar por el telegrama?
The steam room's on the other side, Mr. Holmes.
¿Esto qué es? Misterio.
The steam room's on the other side.
Cállate y de donde quiera. Exitus. Ah, no. Al Exitus no quiero ir.
The changing room. The steam room.
Qué bonito.
Champagne for a special occasion. An ice bucket to keep the champagne chilled. Unopened, it was intended to be enjoyed after the steam session.
¿Cómo va a ser que no?
Expensive clothes belonging to one of the men from the steam room. These clothes belong to one of the suspects from the steam room. Clothes belonging to one of the suspects.
Good Lord.
Me han quitado un ojo.
Death with a peculiarly Roman piquancy.
Like the one you almost had an hour ago.
Let us forget about that.
Le
There
falta
was
un ojo.
only one hit from the weapon. It pierced the right eye straight through to the brain. Death would have been instantaneous.
The wound should not have bled so profusely. This pool is rather large.
Por el agua.
Some dirt or earth. I'll take a sample.
¿Ya
Some
está
dirt.
mal?
Look, Watson. He was wearing a ring. He very likely removed it before the steam session.
Well, the death is very recent, between 30 minutes to 1 hour ago.
I think we have found all that we can here, taking into consideration the abysmal lighting. Constable, we have finished with the body.
We don't have many leads here.
What concerns me is that we still have to find the murder weapon.
Mr. Holmes?
Please have the body removed without disturbing anything else in the room.
All right, Mr. Holmes.
I was wondering, Holmes, it's fairly reckless to carry out a murder inside a closed chamber. Why do you suppose they did it?
¿Por qué no?
There are a great many possibilities. The murderer was in a hurry. Or he is an artist. Or a ghost. Or he wanted to ensure that I'd be brought in on the case.
Probably the latter. You are ridiculous. Do you know that?
I should check this blood sample at Baker Street. This key was covered in blood. I should ask Phillips about it.
Pues no se veía, ¿no?
The grid cannot be removed.
Mr. Holmes?
Su espera es.
One lens is cracked, probably due to the temperature of the brazier. These lenses are for myopia. The wearer is short-sighted. The brazier is still burning. The heat here is extreme. I will need something to pick up this melted metal. It is too hot. I cannot reach into it. The weapon is nowhere to be found. G. Newell and Sons, steam specialists, Seattle, WA.
Ups.
With the steam on, I'm unable to see even a few feet away. With the steam on, I'm unable to see
Cállate.
even a few feet away.
Como la lío, Watson.
It's horrible. So Rodney is dead. Can't we speak?
I'm in shock. I don't want to talk.
It's horrible.
Pues uno de vosotros es el culpable.
Mr. Holmes?
Me sé algún anillo por aquí. Pues no. A ti por la llave.
How many people have keys to the steam room?
We have just the one key for now, which Sir Gregory gave to me.
So, this morning you opened the steam room, and then?
I put the key inside my desk, but when they called, I couldn't find it. It had disappeared.
La he
I don't know
encontrado.
where it is.
Did you leave the baths at any time or receive any visitors?
No, sir, I did not.
¿Tienes un telegrama, cariño? O
You
sea
are not
que...
telling the truth, Mr. Phillips. You left your work this morning, and you went to the post office, where you dispatched a telegram at around 7:30.
But how could you... No,
Porque lo
The
tienes en el
telegram was for
bolsillo.
someone in Manchester.
Mr. Holmes, it's I'll tell you everything. I left the baths at 7:20. My sister wrote to me yesterday, and she needed a reply, or our mother is unwell. I was away for 20 minutes, and I closed the baths on my way out.
Fuera de café.
Did you receive a reply from your sister?
No, she wasn't meant to. I just told her to pawn my old school uniform so that she could pay for the medication.
Did you check to see if the key was still in your desk when you returned?
No, I didn't. Please, Mr. Holmes, don't tell the police about this. Sir Gregory would give me the sack. I need this job.
¿Dónde está Sir Gregory? ¿Es uno de los de dentro?
There is a bottle of champagne on ice in the changing room. Do you have any idea who left it there?
There is? Are you quite certain? I didn't pay any attention. Do you believe that it's important?
Supongo.
What should we do next, Holmes?
Buena pregunta.
Mr. Holmes, I should like...
Please wait.
No creo que me vayan a hablar, ¿eh? No, para allá, hijo. Parece tontín. No, aquí no. El refrigerium, refrigerium.
This area serves as Sir Rodney Bentcliffe's workshop.
Muy bien, ¿no?
Glass plate negatives, a remarkable method for recording ancient civilizations.
Falta una.
A glass plate negative is missing. It is a glass plate. Archaeological findings. Old clay pots with numbers inscribed upon them.
Daily Mirror. Pocos podrían afirmar que no han oído hablar del nombre de Sir Rodney Bentcliffe. Es un caballero que posee la fortuna, la reputación y la energía de los mejores de su clase. Su intelecto está a la par con sus encantos, tal y como han declarado sin cesar las jóvenes damas de la aristocracia europea. Tiene contactos poderosos en la Cámara de los Lores y ejerce influencia sobre la esfera política. Hay quien diría que es implacable y autoritario. Nosotros diríamos que Sir Rodney tiene determinación y es ambicioso. Su presencia en cualquier yacimiento arqueológico solo puede significar el éxito para todos los implicados. Y esto es que me da mucha rabia que aparezca y lo voy quitando. Vale. The Times. Milagrosa reapertura de la excavación arqueológica de los baños romanos de Strand Lane. Los trabajos de investigación estaban a punto de detenerse cuando llegó un salvador personificado en Sir Rodney Bentcliffe. Sir Rodney ha tomado inmediatamente el control de la excavación y afirma que el lugar encierra la clave de un gran misterio. Mantendremos informados a nuestros lectores a medida que nos lleguen noticias al respecto. Vaya, que había aquí algo heavy. Borrador de Sir Rodney. ¿Es el que se ha muerto? Querido amigo, el mes que viene querría organizar una conferencia de prensa en los baños romanos de Strand Lane. 1893 fue un año destacado para mi trabajo en Egipto, pero ahora es el momento de que me centre en la arqueología británica, arrojar luz sobre nuestros tesoros nacionales y revelarlos al público. Me gustaría que asistieran tantos periodistas como fuera posible para informar acerca del evento. Espero que positivamente, si les tratamos lo bastante bien. He de recordar la larga amistad que me une a Lord Blackmore y solicitar el empleo de los fondos dedicados al Real Instituto Arqueológico para sufragar este evento. Sir Rodney Bentcliffe. Estaba organizando algo. Por algo que había descubierto. Esta placa de metal, al margen de su interés arqueológico, parece formar parte de algo. Por el momento no he sido capaz de determinar de qué exactamente. Un escudo, ¿no? Ah, se la lleva.
Archaeological findings. Old clay pots with numbers inscribed upon them. Tools used by archaeologists in their research. I will
esto.
need these tongs.
Para coger las... No, las gafas no eran, no sé qué era. Algo. Ah, el metal ese. Si es que como la cago.
Are you all right? I wonder how this could have happened.
Yes, it is somewhat treacherous. Fortunately, I am unscathed. To where does this corridor lead?
To the frigidarium, the coal room.
Barely unscathed and by a very small margin. And treacherous is an understatement.
¿Está aquí el Phillips? ¿O no?
Those stones weigh tons.
It does not matter.
Pues van a tardar un poco, hijo.
I'm always wondering what's on your mind, Holmes.
No, ahí delante. No, ahora.
I should analyze this melted metal.
Este no lo había visto.
Blood traces wiped on the towel.
I found him. I touched his shoulder, thinking that he was just asleep.
Es el único que lo tiene. Garro. O sea, que el que se ha muerto es el de las investigaciones.
Mr. Holmes, I should like...
Llévatelos.
None, Lestrade.
These baths are becoming sinister.
Dímelo a mí, casi muero.
We don't have many leads here.
Pues me vuelvo a mi sitio. Cuánta cosa. Esto lo hago yo. Sí.
Pyrite, otherwise known as fool's gold. Selenite. White clay particles. Interesting. According to the color and its composition, I deduce that this sample is white clay. Now, I need to find
Concuerda.
which area near London this sample belongs to.
Arcilla blanca. Pues aquí.
The sample of dirt belongs to the White London clay region, located near the city of St. Albans.
Ahora nos vamos de viaje.
Let us analyze this blood sample. This blood has not coagulated well. It seems very liquid. That is
Un
strange.
poco, sí.
Let us see what is inside it. Hydrogen peroxide will bring any foreign matter to the surface.
Pipeta. Pipeteamos. Tanto. A ver si cambia de color.
Water.
O crea...
This blood is heavily diluted with water.
Se vapor de agua, creo yo, ¿no?
This is a piece of metal taken from a brazier. It appears to be silver, but I need to be sure. If it is silver, it will be possible to melt it, since silver's melting point is at around 900 degrees Celsius. Let us compare this sample with a silver penny by testing it with acid. If it changes color to match the result of a reaction with a silver coin, then it is silver.
Muy bien, hijo.
I must take a...
Ay, perdón, perdón. Sí, ¿no?
The reaction is the same red stain. It is silver, Britannia silver quality.
Ya
My
está.
analysis table. It is useful
Estrés.
for my...
Archivos. 1893. Esto, ¿no? La momia de Bencliffe. La gran excavación arqueológica de Aswan se ha prolongado durante 3 años. La dirigía Sir Rodney Bencliffe. Fue hallada una momia con un ojo enucleado y en una postura extraña. La mano derecha estaba tendida como si pretendiera alcanzar algo. La posición de la momia es también inusual. Fue enterrada de pie. Le pusieron el nombre de la momia desesperada, por sus peculiares características. Cerca se leía una inscripción en latín. Por el ojo fue castigado porque no era digno. Se cree que la momia es romana, no egipcia, en vista de que algunos símbolos hallados en la tumba son parte de los misterios mitraicos.
Here it is.
By
Descubrí
the
una
eye
momia.
he was punished, for he saw that he was not worthy. Dreadful.
A ver. Y ahora solo tengo que hablar ya.
What should we do next, Holmes?
An embroidered silk handkerchief. A fountain pen with Sir Gregory Pitkin's visiting card.
Nada interesante de Pitkin.
When Garrow found Sir Rodney dead, he wiped the blood upon himself.
O sea, una sangre. Se te queda así. O sea, un muerto no te va a tocar.
A phial with herbs. Do you know what it is, my dear fellow?
It's the St. John's wort flower, Holmes. It's commonly used as a drug against melancholia. However, an overdosage might lead to a rash or even hallucinations.
An ordinary pencil.
Como los de Ikea. Carta de Sir Gregory Pitkin. Sir Gregory Pitkin, gerente al señor Blinkhorn. Querido señor, los intereses a los que represento requieren que la situación de los baños cambie para mejor. En este momento las excavaciones del frigidarium permanecen bajo su dirección, pero los trabajos no han progresado. Ha fracasado a la hora de localizar algo de valor y no podemos abrir al público el frigidarium. El frigidarium es muy valioso para la recreación de la experiencia propia de unos baños romanos. Le convino completar su trabajo en los próximos 2 meses. Ese es el tiempo de que dispone para concluir su investigación arqueológica y encontrar otro lugar de trabajo. Te está echando a la calle. Se tiene más
This ring
cosas.
was most likely the one that Sir Rodney wore. He removed it before entering the steam room.
Este es lo del muerto. Y aquí tiene
I see the join. This ring was repaired, and quite badly too, with
Un poco.
silver. An Egyptian symbol. It is a very old jewel.
Why on earth would they wear such a ring?
A very pertinent question.
una moneda.
An
7.
old and rather dirty coin.
Un mapa.
A hand-drawn map.
Un cuaderno.
Rodney Bentcliffe's notebook. It may contain something of interest. The last pages were torn out. We must find a way of retrieving Sir Rodney's last lines.
Con el
Watson,
lápiz.
please prevent anyone from entering the room. But first, fetch me a pencil. To begin with, a few strokes of the pencil will be enough. I don't want to damage the traces. And then to gently smudge the leftover pencil marks with a handkerchief.
No le importa. Hoy casi lo he encontrado. Este día quedará grabado en la historia.
Mr. Holmes, the coroner had... But what are you doing? Tampering with the evidence?
Shh.
I prefer to make them talk. Today, I almost found it. This date will go down in history. Sir Rodney was about to make an outstanding discovery.
Wonderful.
I could retrieve only the final words. The rest of it is lost.
Anda, que
Perhaps
Watson
the
vigila bien,
autopsy
que no
will
venga
assist
alguien.
us in that matter.
I'm not sure that I can allow you to inspect the body now.
I am sure that you must, Constable.
Well,
Sujeto: Rodney Bencliffe, edad 63. El ojo derecho es tallado por causa de una perforación con un filo curvado. El filo hendió la cuenca en el hueso frontal, rebanando un pedazo del lóbulo frontal y del cuello calloso, tras lo cual completó su trayectoria hasta el cerebelo y causó lesiones hemorrágicas. Todas las heridas llevaron a la muerte inmediata del individuo. El lóbulo superior del pulmón derecho presenta una perforación antigua que supura mucosidad y desechos ciliares, que pueden corresponder a una infección crónica contraída por la inhalación de elementos propios de un túmulo. Restos de una momia descompuesta, por ejemplo, o el polvo de un alimento descompuesto que estuviera destinado a acompañar al difunto. El resto del cuerpo parece estar intacto. Bueno, bastante tiene ya. Uy, tengo que hablar de muchas cosas. Vale. ¿Y puedo ver al muerto? Así, está aquí.
According to the coroner, there were no cardiac problems nor lung congestion, but there were traces of fungus, possibly contracted from the Egyptian tombs. The coroner observed no stomach nor liver disease, if we're to accept that Sir Rodney was an occasional drinker and 63 years of age.
Eso te de suerte.
The bruising is in lines. Some light bruising, caused by a rope. They were caused by a rope around the waist. Sir Rodney was descending somewhere.
No se movería con tanta
An
facilidad.
unusual wound, inflicted by a curved knife, which
Sería por el
resulted in
rigor mortem
instant
este.
death, as the coroner's report says.
Mira, por fin puedo hacer algo. Llegada oportuna. Vida extraña. Seguro que tiene que ver con champán. Ahí. Ahí. Pista inexplicable. La presencia de agua en la sangre es inexplicable. Tiene que tener alguna relación con el crimen. Yo creo que no. Agua del vapor. La presencia de agua se debe a la humedad ambiental causada por el vapor. Yo creo que es esto. Creo. Que seguramente no. Ya está. Ay. Pues ya está. Qué bien, no tengo nada. A ver si hablando consigo algo.
Locked.
Este hombre nunca está aquí, el Estrade. Muévete. Es que hay muchos.
Please escort this suspect for interrogation. Good day to you, Sir Gregory. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm assisting the police with their investigation of the murder that took place this morning. Would you mind answering a few
Bueno, el
questions?
Tell me,
viejo.
Mr. Holmes, will I need to stay here for very much longer?
Pues hasta que yo te diga. A ver.
You are the manager of the baths, is that correct?
Yes, I'm passionate about archaeology. I wanted to restore the ruins. My ambition is to open the baths to the public. Living archaeology can be a profitable business, although now I'm not so sure.
I see. When do you wish to begin using the baths?
When the archaeological researches are over, I will be free to complete the restoration. It is the usual process.
Me parece muy bien.
What was your relationship with Sir Rodney Bentcliffe?
You were not particularly close. He had an unpleasant temperament, suspicious, authoritarian, unkind.
Como tú.
People possessed by genius may be forgiven for their nature, but not by me.
Was he obstructive?
Not at all. Everything he did led us to greater success. He helped us increase the potential of the building.
Please tell me what happened this morning.
The test that we performed this morning was a success. The steam was working well. Then, of course, that awful murder.
What did you see?
The steam was too thick to see anything. But ask Garrow. He saw the body first.
How was the work progressing before Sir Rodney's arrival?
Rather slowly, I would say.
Supongo que la carta, porque la llave no, el champán tampoco, anillo no, moneda.
Sir Gregory, could you please explain this letter? You expressed the wish to call off the research work
vale.
at the baths.
La de 2
It
meses.
was all about Blinkhorn. He was merrily digging away and taking very little care about it, ruining everything and finding nothing of any value.
But the arrival of Sir Rodney changed your mind?
Sir Rodney's work was extremely promising, and it was good for the bath's publicity. So yes, I changed my mind.
Muy bien.
Had Sir Rodney exhibited any recent strange behavior?
Look, I'm not a suspicious fellow, but I think that he had professional interests elsewhere that he did not wish us to know about.
Why should you think that? Where?
I have no idea. But after all, it was not my business.
Some melted silver was found inside the steam room brazier. Do you know where it came from?
Silver? No.
Did you bring a bottle of champagne to the baths?
Absolutely not. Sir Rodney did, I think.
Are you aware that Mr. Garrow is under a form of medication?
Garrow? No. But I never liked that parasite.
Do you believe him to be capable of murder?
Well, he did have blood on him. Does that make him a murderer?
No necesariamente. Mirada arrogante. Eso sí lo hubiera dicho. Eso también. ¿Ves, pijo? Es que más claro el agua. Yo no sé dónde sacan los dos de esto. Humillación de Blinkhorn. El trabajo de Blinkhorn se salvó por la llegada de Sir Rodney a un precio enorme para su moral. Interés de Blinkhorn. El trabajo de Tata se salvó por la llegada de Sir Rodney. Estaba agradecido por la posibilidad de trabajar con él y aprender de él. Pues no tengo ni idea. Humillación, a lo mejor. Porque de qué estamos hablando de Sir Rodney. Ah, vale, sí, porque acabo de hablar con Blinkhorn, ¿no? No, acabo, ¿eh? No lo sé, hablaremos
Please
con él.
escort this suspect for interrogation. Good day to you, sir. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and I am assisting the police with their investigation of the murder of Sir Rodney Bentcliffe. Would you mind if I asked you a few questions?
Not at all, Mr. Holmes. My name is Percival Blinkhorn.
Hombre, uno educado.
What is your occupation?
I'm an archaeologist, specializing in the Roman period. I'm working on several excavation sites at present, including the baths at Strand Lane.
Can you tell me more about the baths?
Well, we're hoping to retrieve a great many interesting artifacts from the site, and to list any items of value before their eventual restoration and exhibition.
And has it been successful?
It has, thanks to Sir Rodney.
Uf, no le gusta.
Can you tell me what you saw today?
Well, we entered the steam room and we all went to sit down. The steam was particularly dense, and I didn't see anything much further after that. I just heard Mr. Garrow shouting, but we all ran for the door and bumped into each other. I was very alarmed by this point.
What did you do?
Well, the door was stuck, and with all the steam, it was quite frightening. I was barely able to see my own feet. Garrow was covered in blood.
Do you believe that Garrow killed Sir Rodney?
Oh, no. Garrow couldn't harm a fly.
Did you place the bottle of champagne in the changing room?
No, I did not.
Y el champán es importante.
We discovered some melted silver in the brazier. Did you put it there?
No. Silver, you say? No, I don't know how it got there.
Can you recall any recent event that would occur to you now as being a little strange?
Well, yesterday we had a small argument.
Is that all?
No. Sir Rodney informed me that he was to attend the London Archaeological Congress with me. Then he advised me of quite the opposite. And rather aggressively, too.
Do you recognize this ring?
Certainly. It's the famous Aswan ring. Sir Rodney brought it back from his last campaign in Egypt.
And he kept it for himself?
Sir Rodney has had his own particular ideas of archaeology.
What can you tell me about Garrow?
Well, he always looks so sad. And he has been acting strangely
Esquizofrenia.
lately. He complains about voices and visions. I will keep an eye on him because I'm worried.
What was your relationship with Sir Rodney?
Well, I couldn't say that he was a kind man, no. But he was talented. I felt a great admiration for him, I must say.
Was it your first collaboration?
I had met Sir Rodney briefly once in Egypt, and I'd shared my researches with him. Surprisingly, my work did convince him to come here. He arrived only a couple of months ago.
Surprisingly?
Well, Sir Rodney was, God, a cold man, and so very secretive too.
Pues no sé si le
But I
gusta o
learned
no.
so much from him. I can't believe that he's dead.
How well were your researches progressing before Sir Rodney's arrival?
Rather well.
A ver, te iban a echar, cariño.
This letter reveals that Sir Gregory was prepared to put a stop to your work.
Yes. But since Sir Rodney's arrival, he had calmed down. He allowed us to work. I'm not sure what they agreed on.
What will happen now that Sir Rodney is dead?
Well, I haven't thought about that. But if it's needed, I will fight to defend Sir Rodney's expectations.
Atento. Sí me gusta. Está atento. No es rico. A lo mejor solo descuidado.
Please escort this suspect for interrogation.
Este hombre cada vez está más demacrado. ¿Y la gente?
A good day to you. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm assisting the police with their investigation of the murder of Sir Rodney Bentcliffe. Would you mind if I asked you a few questions?
Uf, no se le ve muy por la labor.
I am Tristram Garrow.
What is your occupation?
I am a councillor at the district chamber.
What were you doing at the baths?
Bañándome.
Well, I follow the researches. I am interested in archaeology.
You follow them?
Yes. So many things happened and we need to know. Or perhaps it's better hidden.
I beg your pardon, Mr. Garrow.
I meant nothing by that. I apologise.
Please try to recall what you saw today.
The room was so hot. I had to remove my
Las gafas
glasses.
son de este.
I was not feeling so very well in there.
But
Este es
you found the
miope.
body.
I saw the knife, you know, flying through the air. I saw the blood. I tried to escape. I don't remember.
You saw the knife. What did it look like?
Everything was as if in a nightmare. It all happened so fast. The knife was shining like gold.
We discovered some melted silver in the brazier. Did you put it there?
It didn't help. The power is too strong.
¿Qué?
Did you place the bottle of champagne in the changing room?
What? No.
Had Sir Rodney exhibited any recent strange behaviour?
Well, he had been rather secretive these past few days. Last Thursday, for example, I saw him leave. when he returned, it was very late. He showed me some wet coins, Roman coins, and he started to laugh. Thank you. Thank you. This will help me to calm down.
Do be careful with the dosage.
I will.
I mean it.
This is the coin that he showed me. It is from the 3rd century.
It must be very rare.
No, I don't know.
What was it like to work with Sir Rodney?
It was like working with a genius. He was a hard man, but then you know this world is hard. There are always people who want to steal from you. And he trusted me, but oh.
Are you feeling unwell?
Oh, I'm sorry. It is I remember. Oh, I feel so sorry.
Do you need anything?
I feel bad. I hear. No, nothing. I'm better now.
Sí, se te nota.
His ring. Oh, it should be destroyed.
Señor de los Anillos.
It is a cursed ring, digging dark secrets.
Really?
It is after me now. I know it. I shouldn't have worked on it in the workshop. It's too late now.
Vas con Frodo y con Sam Zagar. Yo también tengo ojeras. Mano de Fátima.
Garrow appears to be rather mentally disturbed. Either that or he is a good actor.
Pues me queda como un poco igual, ¿eh? Secreto mortal. ¿Por qué estaría escondiendo algo Sir Rodney? ¿Podría ser su hallazgo el motivo del crimen? Lo que me lleva. Descubrir dónde estuvo Sir Rodney días antes de su asesinato y desvelar su preciado secreto. Ya está. Madre. Ah, no, esto con esto. Quita. Posibilidad. Arma de plata. Un objeto de plata se había fundido en el brasero hace poco. No. Yo creo que no. ¿Y qué hago ahora? Buscar en el mapa. En el mapa que tengo en casa, supongo. Este mapa.
Now we have two maps. We must combine them properly.
Oh, espérate. Aquí.
Watson, pack your bag. We are visiting a location in St. Albans marked on Sir Rodney's map.
Uy, un caballo. Susto.
This archaeological site has been abandoned. Why did Bentcliffe come here?
Hay que encontrar por aquí. Inclinio.
The door has been left open. Someone did not care or was in haste.
Domun Hadriano. Los seguidores de Mitra le veneraban en secreto y en su día a día eran devotos de deidades más convencionales como Juno o Neptuno. Los templos de Mitra solían encontrarse bajo templos dedicados a otros dioses. Los seguidores de Mitras solían acudir a sus deidades tradicionales para acceder al pasaje que conducía al Mitreo. Es interesante el caso del Mitreo de Dio, en Francia, puesto que la entrada se hallaba situada tras una estatua de Diana. La entrada se revelaba muy probablemente con la ayuda de un ingenioso mecanismo de contrapesos, que quizá no hubiera sido descubierto nunca de no ser porque las filtraciones de agua destruyeron el mecanismo, lo que abrió el acceso al Mitreo. Pueden encontrarse templos de Miltra en Roma, Ostia, Numidia, Dalmacia, Albión y las riberas del Rin y el Danubio, y en menor medida en Grecia, Egipto y Siria.
This is the map of the site. We are at the heart of an old Roman city.
La daga que utilizó Mitra para la tauroctonía, sí, el sacrificio del toro, es en realidad un filo curvado de origen persa. La curvatura puede oscilar entre los 5 y los 15 grados. El nombre real deriva del persa shamshir, que significa espada. Esta familia de hojas curvadas incluye la shamshir, la cimitarra, el talwar, el kirij, el pulwar y el sable mongol. La clave de los misterios mitraicos es el mito de la daga de oro, que algunos describen como un equivalente del Santo Grial. Sobre la daga de oro pesa una maldición. Se dice que derramará la sangre del que no sea digno de tocarla. Hombre, la ha derramado. La verdad. El mitraísmo era una misteriosa religión practicada en el Imperio Romano entre los siglos I y IV a.C. El nombre del dios persa Mitra, adoptado por los griegos como Mitras, estaba relacionado con una nueva y particular imaginería. Los adoradores, no sé leer hoy, de Mitra tenían un complejo sistema con 7 grados de iniciación, con banquetes rituales. Los iniciados se reunían en templos subterráneos llamados mitreos, muchos de los cuales aún existen y que hemos leído antes. Los relieves de Mitra le representan naciendo de una roca y sacrificando a un toro, la tauroctonía. Lo he dicho bien. Ay, madre. Y tengo que montar eso. No voy a leer más. Y no hay nada, ¿no? Vulcano, Cíclope.
Vulcan, the god of fire and metalworking. The Cyclops, a one-eyed creature helping Vulcan at the forge.
Espera. Corre, hijo, corre. Ya está. El templo.
Construction hooks. Neptune, the god of the sea. It is a statue of Minerva. It is a broken statue of a bull. The gastrofeds were used with ropes and hooks for sieges. This is the map of the site. We are at the heart of an old Roman city.
Arturus Domo. No, este sí nos interesa. Estimado Lord Blackmore, el gerente de los baños, Sir Gregory Pitkin, fue una molestia cuando llegué. Su intercesión consiguió que fuera más amable. En ocasiones, la gente de su rango no es apropiada para un trabajo de tal magnitud. Les falta visión de futuro. En pocas semanas espero tener buenas noticias acerca de los baños de Strand Lane. Estoy a punto de hallar un artefacto arqueológico de gran importancia al que su partido podría dar una utilidad política para demostrar la fuerza de nuestros ancestros y satisfacer, no hay ni un punto, la necesidad de proteger el imperio de cualquier amenaza presente o futura. Les saluda atentamente Rodney Bedcliffe. Calvin. Hobbes y tú os consideráis muy listos y muy graciosos. Me hizo mucha gracia que congelarais las notas sobre el arco de Adriano de la señora Derkin. Pero esto es de hace tiempo. ¿Y qué harían el arma este?
This is a reproduction of an ancient Greek crossbow.
No hemos visto
The
fuera.
gastrofets. This is a
¿Y qué quieres que haga? Que la monte, ¿no? A ver. Preocupaciones de Pitkin. Pitkin no se sentía cómodo posponiendo la apertura, supongo. No. Yo supongo que tenía preocupaciones. No lo tengo claro, la verdad. Aquí había algo.
The door has been left open. This railway is used to remove rubble from the site.
A ver si puedo bajar. Por aquí.
This wall was covered with mud recently. What could be hidden here?
Te requiere un objeto. Oh, vale. Hay algo. Mira la brocha para limpiar.
Excavating tools, a bucket.
Pitis.
I don't need the ropes for now.
Yo sé que sí las necesitas. Porque estás viendo unas cosas que se pueden juntar. No sé, háztelo mirar, hijo. Aquí con ganas y salero. Ya está,
I
¿no?
can see now.
Bueno, ya ves de hace rato.
Frigidarium. It is located at the Roman baths in London. Someone took the time to hide the fresco, but what for? I need to visit this place.
Mira, yo de momento me voy a unir cubitos.
There are 12 pieces here. Let's try to gather. It is a mold, and it is ready for casting. The mold is prepared for casting. We just need to fill it with certain material. Sir Rodney has made a reconstruction of the mythical golden knife. He seemed unafraid of maledictions, and yet half a glass of water should be enough.
Where... Ay,
The mold is prepared. Now let us see what we have here.
ya está, ya se ha secado.
This knife is very similar to that described by the coroner as the weapon that killed Sir Rodney.
You should not leap to any hasty conclusions, Watson.
El molde se utilizó para fabricar el arma del crimen. Comprobar si podemos fabricar una daga de plata con los materiales que encontramos. Pues vamos.
Let us try to create an object from silver by using the mold. Let us try. It will take a minute to melt the silver with my gas burner. Done. The mold is hot. I should wait for it to cool down.
Y se apagase
Now I
el
can proceed further.
jueguecillo. ¿Para qué apagarlo?
A homemade silver knife. Excellent. We have created a knife with the silver that we found. It could have been used to kill Sir Rodney.
It was extremely clever to create a weapon that could dissolve at the scene of the crime.
Daga de plata, punta del brasero. Se empleó el arma de plata y se destruyó en el brasero después del crimen. El asesino escondió el arma en la sauna, después la puso en el brasero para destruirla, lo que dio lugar a la plata fundida que estalló. O podría ser, yo qué sé. No lo sé. ¿Y con quién hablo de esto?
Locked.
¿Con todos?
Please
Que a lo mejor no tengo nada que decirle.
The paintings in the baths are focused on Mitras, I understand.
Yes, they are what make this place remarkable.
And that is why Sir Rodney came here?
He believed that the golden knife, which is an ancient ritual item, was hidden somewhere around the baths. I admit that it would be wonderful if it were true.
And you are not concerned by the reputation of this artifact?
You mean the curse? Before someone is dead, it is a blessing. After they are dead, well, then it becomes a curse.
Gracioso.
Please
Hay que
escort
admitirlo.
the suspect for interrogation. What can you tell me about Mitras?
Oh, so much. It was the core of our work. Why do you ask?
Were you seeking the golden knife?
Ah, I see you are an amateur. Yes, the golden knife was our grail. It is said that it bears the only text explaining the ritual of the cult of Mithras.
I understand. I read something about immortality.
A myth. The knife would provide immortality only to the worthy one, and yet it is cursed, and it would kill you if you are not initiated.
Did you expect to find the golden knife at the baths?
Pues no.
Well, Sir Rodney thought that it might be there. Did you observe the knife representations there? They are so extraordinary. And we had hoped that... it is a tragedy that he has passed away, taking
Veo que
all
tenía un
his
gran trabajo en
secrets with him.
equipo, ¿eh?
As soon as I've been released, I will continue Sir Rodney's researches in his memory.
Y el otro, a ver si se ha recuperado ya.
Please escort this suspect for interrogation. Perhaps you could explain the cult of Mitras to me.
No, there is nothing to say. We are not the worthy ones.
Pero vamos a
But
hablar,
Sir
hijo.
Rodney believed that he was.
He was wrong. I have visions. The golden knife, the mummy. Oh, it's all my fault.
Calm down, Mr. Garrow.
Enfermedad de Garrow. A Garrow le tortura su obsesión con la maldición de Mitras. Se ha vuelto loco, una condición que los medicamentos empeoran. No tiene por qué. Empeoramiento de Garrow. Su estado ha empeorado a raíz de la conmoción por la muerte de Sir Rodney. Sí, ¿no? Porque antes decían que era normal. ¿Qué hago yo ahora? ¿Puedo ir a ver si ya han quitado los restos?
Mr. Holmes, we've cleared the corridor to the
Hombre.
frigidarium. You can visit it now.
Thank you, Mr. Phillips.
Y el Phillips este no es sospechoso.
All these events are bad for the baths. And my job.
Asco.
Perhaps I could find some clues by activating the flagstones.
No, lo de antes. ¿Qué tenía? ¿El toro? ¿Minerva? ¿Y Poseidón? Bueno, Neptuno. Ah, Minerva. Minerva es verdad, guerra. Vale, tengo que poner Neptuno, Minerva y estos dos. Tú te empujas. El barco no me interesa. Porque a lo mejor lo estoy haciendo mal, ¿eh? Rostro de un solo ojo. Tú también. Ah, tiene un texto.
A hidden symbol.
El otro tendrá un símbolo también, ¿no? Oh, vaya por Dios. Qué cosas. Vale, me falta Neptuno. No. No hay. Escorpión no. Y no hay tampoco. Caduceo, ¿qué es esto? Ah, vale. Símbolo de medicina. Tridente. Sí. Ahí está el
A
símbolo.
symbol. Now I have all the clues to help me find where these symbols are leading. All I need is imagination.
Lo tienes. Confío en ti. Ahí. Ah, pues mira, justo donde
The
estaba,
signs
enfrente,
are
¿no?
pointing to this bust.
Vale. Aquí. Vaya, vaya. No es abierto. Creo que aquí.
What is this place?
I am unsure, Watson, but everything points to the fact that it was the last place visited by Sir Rodney Bentcliffe. We are approaching the end of this mystery.
Y no tenemos nada. Farolillo.
A broken glass plate. What is it doing here? I should examine it at Baker Street. How very peculiar. An ice maker.
Why would
Nevero.
Sir Rodney have brought such a device here?
Un nevero.
A sack of crude salt. Mithras, the god, clothed in Anatolian costume and wearing a Phrygian cap, killing the bull. This fresco resembles either a ladder or a hierarchy.
Le voy a hacer una foto. Lo importante. Así no tengo que estar cambiando todo el rato. Ay.
The fire casts a shadow upon the floor.
El toro.
It resembles a bull.
Neptuno.
That is the symbol of... The pillar collapsed a long time ago.
La corona esta.
This shadow
No.
seems to represent a bridge.
Una corona, lo que yo decía. Ciclopera. Ah, no.
It is very similar to the face of Mithras. The shadows show us the way to go. We will find Mithras after Neptune, the bull, and the bridge.
Si no, yo no me acuerdo. Ah, genial.
Done.
Lo pegas con cero y ya
Watson, could
está.
you please use this negative and your photographic equipment to process the photograph?
Ahora en el siglo XXI sería, Watson, hazle una foto.
Thank you, Watson. Now I must use reagents to develop the photograph.
Bueno, es una pirámide y dos muchachos.
The pyramids of Giza in Egypt. Sir Rodney. Ice. Salt. Ice cream. Another archaeologist, most probably. Ice cream in the desert. We are indebted to the Romans who developed the technique.
So that's it. Salt and crushed ice may help to create ice cream.
¿De qué me está hablando? Me parece muy bien. Experimento con hielo. Alguien estuvo experimentando con el método romano de producción de hielo. No. Comprobar si podemos fabricar una daga de hielo. Es que me encajan las dos. Sí.
If I wish to shape the ice knife, then I need to pour water inside the mold. Excellent. Now we must check to ensure that it is adequately frozen. An ice weapon for a cold-blooded murder. An ice knife. A surprising and yet a very brilliant idea.
It's the perfect weapon. It enables one to kill a man and then it melts. The only trace it leaves is a small puddle on the ground.
Pero nadie abrió el champán y nadie lo trajo. Es que lo de mí es inexplicable. Huele un poco mal. Ay, lo puedo coger, lo puedo coger, lo puedo coger. Es puedo coger también esto que estaba aquí. ¿Dónde está? Ay. Y en sí, el fundamento.
This is a
No puedo hacerlo aún.
We should use these. There might be. I have to find a way.
Pues te lo he dicho, hijo. Que cojas lo otro.
Those rings on the bridge are perfect. The bridge is ready. Now I must cross it.
Are we inside the hidden temple of Mitras, Holmes?
I am not sure. We had better be careful.
El farolillo que se lo ha sacado de no sé dónde. Pero ahí está el farolillo. Aquí tengo los símbolos preparados. Tengo que coger un pájaro.
Which way should we go, Holmes?
Una
There
cosa
ought
que
to
no
be
sé
some
qué
clues
es.
here. Let's take a look around.
Esto no, esto no, esto.
I saw.
Tengo que seguir por aquí. He hecho el primero. Así que ahora tendríamos que seguir el segundo. El segundo es este. Ahora el tercero. Uy. Voy por el tercero, que me acuerde. Madre mía. Bueno, bien. Vengo por la corona y me voy por aquí, por el casco. El cuarto. Por aquí. Por aquí, ahora. Si siguiendo los símbolos de antes, eso que parece como una pirámide con simbolitos, eso. Y no veo. Es por aquí. Ya solo queda uno. No me estás hablando. ¿Qué puede salir mal? Solo queda uno. Que es este. Vale. No te fías, ¿eh? Que se queda atrás. Madre mía.
Look, it's the golden knife. But how to get it?
Watson, I need your help.
No se ha abierto. Efectivamente. Espero que salgan ellos por su cuenta, porque yo no quiero hacerles salir.
The golden knife of Mitras. Excellent. Now, we should find an...
Yo lo he encontrado antes. No, los tengo que hacer salir yo. Voy a salir por aquí. Pues lo voy a hacer así porque no me apetece. Blinkhorn es un especialista meritorio, consciente de que está a punto de verse apartado de un hallazgo formidable. Perderá la oportunidad de su vida. Blinkhorn mató a Sir Rodney para vengarse de su abuso de poder. Su muerte le beneficiaría económicamente y le permitiría convertirse en una eminencia en su campo. Emplea una reproducción de hielo de la daga de oro de Mitras. Yo creo que sí. ¿Absolver? No. ¿Por qué lo voy a absolver? A ver si hemos
I'm feeling
acertado.
rather uncomfortable. Why have I been put into these cuffs?
I fear that you had better get used to them, Mr. Blinkhorn. They are your reward for the murder of Sir Rodney Bentcliffe.
What? No, that's a lie.
It is regrettable, for you are a talented archaeologist. I will request that you are placed in a prison where you are unable to dig an escape tunnel. That is, of course, if they decide that you shall live. The consulting detective who salutes your intelligence in performing the perfect crime, yes, but also the gentleman who detests your motivation.
You know nothing.
You wish to be the one who would reveal this to the world.
Is that the golden knife? How?
I also like to dig, you see. I only followed your trail. Such a pity that there is always someone willing to steal your credit, wouldn't you say? And there was the chance of a lifetime. You had to take it. It was not to be shared. But now I am here, and there is no one who will stop the tread of justice, Mr. Blinkhorn. Goodbye.
Blinkhorn conocía la intención de Bentcliffe de llevarse todo el mérito del hallazgo de la daga de oro. Tramó un astuto plan que no solo eliminaría a su rival, sino que le reportaría fama y prestigio. Usó un nevero hecho a mano para crear una reproducción en hielo de la daga de oro de Mitras. La llevó a la sauna en la cubitera, estaba pensando en cubertería, cubitera del champán y después, tras el asesinato, la tiró al suelo para que se deshiciera. El cadalso es un castigo apropiado.